Good afternoon. Welcome to the Inspiring Inking Facebook page and welcome to the Inspiring Inking YouTube channel. I'm Amanda Fowler. It's Tuesday the 30th of November 2021. Thank you so much for joining me, whether you're joining me live or on the replay. If you let me know that you're here and if you can see and hear me clearly, I would very much appreciate it. How are you today? Are you warm and dry? It's been really chilly here in the UK over the past few days. We've had some snow. I'll tell you all about that later. But yeah, how are you? How are you doing? What's new? Hello, Deborah and Michelle and Karen. Thanks for joining me. Hi, Anne. She's saying she can hear me loud and clear. That is good to know. Good to know. I've got my peppermint tea here. Hi, Mum. Pauline's here. Hello, Lorraine. How are you with your poorly leg? How you doing? Okay, so if you have never seen one of my craft and chats before, let me just explain that the first 20 minutes-ish we chat. And we chat about all sorts of things and crafting and Stampin' Up related and completely random, like the weather and other things, exciting things that have been going on in people's lives. And then I do some crafting. So if you are watching the replay and you want to get straight to the crafting, you're going to have to speed me forwards. But do hang out and listen to the chat as well and join in if you can. So Roz is here and Jane's here. Oh, bless you. Not feeling very gorgeous today, Jane. But you're very kind to say so. Hello, Maureen. Hello, Jan. Chris and Angela are here. It's warmer yesterday for them up in Newbury, and the weekend snow's gone. Oh, Deborah's here from sunny, lovely Calgary, and she is hoping that she hasn't jinxed it. I hope so too. I hope so too. So, do let me know what you've been up to since last we spoke, last Tuesday. I'll catch you up on what I've been up to, and I've got quite a few Stampin' Up announcements to make. Yeah, I've got a lot to talk about today. Hi, Donna. Oz is in the house. So that is all good. So if you've emailed me over the past few days, you will know because my out of office has been on. I've been off having adventures. It was Kimberly's 25th birthday on Saturday. So Brian and I went off to Manchester to spend a few days with her and Dom. We've had a really lovely time. Obviously, it's a long way from the south of England. Oh, that's an alarm going off. That's a bit strange. Hold on 1 second. I don't know what's going on. Right. Just going to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Okay, right. Hopefully we won't be disturbed again now. Right, so yeah, so we've had a really lovely time. We've had several walks and out for some nice meals, and Kimberly's cooked, and we've watched movies. So if you are looking for a Christmas movie, it's on Netflix. I don't know whether it's on any other channels, but it's called Klaus, which is Klaus. I think it's been out for ages. It's an animated movie. But it is such a feel-good Christmas movie. You need to watch it. And that leads me on to, if you've got any recommendations for Christmas movies, please type them in the chat, because I love Christmas movies. I'd watch them all year round. But yeah, it was really good. And I'm really surprised I just hadn't seen it. And I don't know why I hadn't seen it, but it's very cool. So yeah, so we were with Kimberly, like I said, for her birthday. And then Sunday morning, Brian and I were sat having a cup of coffee, looking out the window as you do. And I said, they look like snow clouds. Now, bit of a running joke in our family, because I love snow so much. In the winter, pretty much every kind of cloud that I see is a potential snow cloud. So Brian just smiled and patted me on the head and went, yeah, right, it's a snow cloud. I said, no, I think it is. And within an hour, it started snowing. So we were going out for a walk anyway, and we all got bundled up, and it was beautiful. Lots and lots and lots of snow. We walked down to the local, I think it's like it's a big lake reservoir type area, but it's a wildlife sanctuary area. So we walked around there, and it was just lovely, and all the snow. But of course, then we had to leave. So yeah, driving in snow is not so much fun. Brian's very skilled, so that was okay. And we stopped in at Brian's parents in Nottingham just overnight, and caught up with them, helped them out with a few jobs and things, and then came home. So yeah, so I've had my snow fix already this year, which I'm very excited about. So yeah, so I've had a really lovely weekend. I'm gonna do a little picture montage thing on my blog. I made her a birthday cake. So Kim and Dom are in the process of moving house, and all of her baking stuff is packed. So normally Dom would be making her a cake. So we kind of had a conversation about me helping out. And Kim's favorite cake ever that I've made her was a Malteser cake. And it's a Nigella recipe from, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago, a long time ago. And that was before Kimberly couldn't eat dairy. Because Maltesers are covered in milk chocolate, and the cake's made with loads of butter, and you've got buttercream on it and so on. So I had to do lots of adaptations. But for those of you who are vegan or following a dairy-free diet, the blocks of flora are really good for baking. They work really well, and for buttercream. And there is a now vegan Horlicks. So Horlicks is what gives the Malteser cake its sort of malty flavour. And normal Horlicks has got milk in it. So obviously she can't have that. So there is now a vegan version of Horlicks, which is really exciting. But of course, then you've got the problem of the Maltesers and the milk chocolate. So there is a brand called, I want to say, Doisy and Bam. I will check it. When I do my blog post, I'll write it down. But they are dark chocolate covered crunchy malt balls. Obviously, they can't call them Maltesers because that'd break every trademarking rule going. But they're very nice. Made a really lovely cake. It was very tasty. So that is very cool. So let's see what everyone else has been up to this week. so many comments. Let's have a look. Roz is here as well. Paul's here. Oh, it's very cold in Italy, says Paul. Donna's looking after her husband because he's had a shoulder replacement. Crikey. I bet that must be weeks and weeks and weeks of recovery. Joanne's here. Oh, Joanne. So that's a book then. Joanne's reading a book called A Boy Called Christmas. I'll have to put that on my list as well then. Barbara's here. They had France in snow. They had snow in France. Joanne only had a slight dusting. You're up north though, Joanne, aren't you? Lorraine loves the snow. No snow in Suffolk, says Anne, but very windy. Oh, Jan loves snow. Christmas films. She likes White Christmas with Bing Crosby. Yes, that is one of my favorites. Love that one. Jan saying it's just drab and murky in Harlow. No snow. Gillian's back from getting her booster jab. Yep, Brian and I going tomorrow. Hello, Roz from Florida. I'm guessing it's probably warm where you are. Oh, Love Actually. More Christmas movies. Love Actually, The Holiday, and It's a Wonderful Life. The Holiday, I don't think I've seen The Holiday, so I'll add that to my list. I love Love Actually. Yeah, it's brilliant. One of the conversations we had at the weekend was whether or not you could consider Die Hard movies to be Christmas movies. My vote is yes, because they are always on at Christmas and they're always set in an airport at Christmas time. The boys' argument against it being a Christmas movie was the fact that actually it's, people blowing one another up and shooting at one another is not exactly, full of festive spirit. So, yes. Oh, Joanne's going to Lincoln Market on Thursday. Oh, okay. So it's actually a book and a film in the cinema and Sky premiere as well. So that's A Boy Called Christmas. Roz is saying that she loves Die Hard movies. Yeah, well, you see, exactly. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether we can consider them Christmas movies or not. But please do type up any recommendations for Christmas movies, because I always like to have a long list. And I'm not adverse to the, I think they're called Hallmark movies in the US, but the really cheesy, sort of small town America romance kind of, Christmas movies, people overcoming odds and all of that stuff. It's just a bit of escapism at Christmas, isn't it? Okay, so I have lots of things to talk to you about. The first is last week I mentioned about back orders and that from tomorrow, Stampin' Up! Are no longer going to be taking any back orders for products. So if when you are shopping, you're looking for something and you can't find it, chances are it's just not in stock at the moment. So what I'm recommending that you do is if you, in the search button, if you type in the number, the item number, it should come up and say that it's currently out of stock. If you have any problems with that, just send me an email, send me a quick text, whatever works for you. And I'll see if I can sort it out, track it down, and see what's going on. So obviously it's kind of a switch with the system. So I should be able to tell you when we think it's likely to be back in stock. But I think over the coming months, we've all just got to kind of accept the fact that things are not going to be kind of coming in and out of stock. Shipping, transport, Christmas, all the things that affect us getting our crafting goodies. So as always, if you think you want something, I would always order it sooner rather than later to make sure that you can get hold of it. The next thing is tomorrow. Yeah, Wednesday, the 1st of December. Tomorrow is the retiring list for the autumn-winter catalogue, or the July to December mini catalogue. Now, there are discounts. There are up to 50% discounts. This afternoon, I'm going to be emailing you all a list of everything that's retiring and discounted. And at the end of that list is a list of items that are carrying forwards. So basically, they're still going to be available, definitely until May next year. And then there's a little list, a really short list of things that are going away, but will come back in July in the next autumn winter catalogue. So you need to scroll all the way down, and I've sorted it out. So it's in page number order. So it should be really clear and easy for you to read. The sale starts tonight. Bear in mind, UK time, tonight at 11 p.m. Obviously, tomorrow morning, you can place your order tonight, tomorrow morning, place it whenever you want to place your order, but everything will be while stocks last. So, check the list, basically. Because you may find that something that you really want is staying around till May, which is great then. But don't miss out on something that you want that could be gone. So I'm going to be emailing that out. I've emailed out this morning already. I have got gift vouchers on my Stampin' Up. On my website on inspiringinking.com. So you can direct your loved ones to my website, and they can purchase online a gift voucher. They get an automatic email and download. They'll get a PDF that they can print out and give to you at Christmas. Now, I've had a few questions about them. The first thing is, yes, they will count towards craft along or host rewards. So, for instance, if you have a £50 gift voucher, that will cover you for a craft along. So when you have your gift voucher, you just email me your order. That's how it works. So you email me your order, and I will then place the order for you and let you know whether you want a host reward, a product reward, or whether you want craft along. So all of those things will still happen. As always, but it's done at the point of which the order is placed, not the gift voucher is purchased. I hope that makes sense. So that's the gift vouchers, and I have made a fairly monumental decision, which is to have 2 weeks off at Christmas. I know. It's all a bit scary, really, because I haven't had, we've had a week's holiday in the past 2 years. So we decided that we're actually going to have 2 weeks holiday. So my last working day in December will be the 16th, Thursday the 16th. Now, the eagle-eyed amongst you will know that Craft Along is on the 30th of December. That is going ahead on the 30th of December, but that is the only day it's the only evening, the only time I'm going to be working between the 16th of December and when we come back after New Year. And I was just about to say, I don't know what the day is that we come back after. I need to tell you that, don't I, really? So it will be the 4th. Tuesday the 4th of January will be my first day back. And obviously that'll be the normal 2 o'clock Tuesday craft and chat. So that'll be as normal on the 4th of December. If you have problems with orders and so on, I will check my emails a couple of times during that period. So don't worry. Just do send me an email and I will pick it up at some point. The January or the spring summer mini catalogues and celebration information will also go out in between Christmas and New Year, ready for it starting on the 5th of January. So lots of things going on. Oh, and whilst I'm on my holiday, there will be a video launching here on Facebook and on YouTube on both Tuesdays at 2 o'clock. So there will be something for you to watch. And I really recommend that you do watch, because you might get to see some sneaky peeky new stuff. So I think you probably need to watch. So so there will be things for you to see, but I will be putting my feet up in front of the fire, drinking eggnog and watching Christmas movies or something. So let's have a look at all of the comments. Oh, Donna's husband has had his shoulder replaced and he's not allowed to drive for another 6 weeks, so she's having to chauffeur him about. Oh, Roz is saying it's actually chilly in central Florida. Can't even say it, Roz, sorry. That is such a lovely word, Lorraine, but I'm not sure how to say it. So Lorraine's up in Fife. It's Dreek. Is that how you say it? Dreek here. And nearly dark already. Now, I might be wrong, so Lorraine can actually tell us if I am. That means kind of dark and dreary and damp. Oh, Roz is recommending Last Christmas. It's a fun new holiday movie, a romantic comedy. Nativity, funniest one ever, says Karen. Oh, see, I've got loads now. A Christmas in Vienna, says Lorraine. Hi, Stella. Texas is in the house. Chris is saying my holiday will probably be the best Christmas present I'll get this year. Yeah. Yes, indeed. Oh, you're so lovely. Oh, Lorraine's saying I pretty much got the word right, and it was what it means. Brilliant. Oh, you're all being so lovely about me having my Christmas break. It's it is quite tricky for me because I do love working and it's kind of like my default setting. What shall I do? Oh, I'll just go and do a bit more work. So, but you know, I thought we need to make the decision and put my feet up for a bit and recharge, because 2022 is going to be awesome. We're going to make it awesome. It's going to be an amazing year. So today we are going to be playing with re-inkers, and I've realized that I haven't put any water in my bowl, so I'm going to have to go and do that in a second. And I'm not actually doing anything Christmassy. just because I was playing this morning and decided that what I was playing with you needed to see. So I think I will probably do another Christmassy thing next week and maybe the week after. But yeah, no Christmas today. So I'm going to go and put water in the bowl and then turn the camera around. So just chat amongst yourselves a second. It is always dangerous, me having water in a bowl on the table. It is indeed. So what I'm going to do is switch that camera off. And there we go. Got my cup of tea there. Okay, so can you see and hear everything? Okay. Hi, Lynn. Thanks for joining. Oh, Mum, that's awesome. So Pauline's just said there are 2 Christmas movies on Channel 5 every day, 1:30 till 5 o'clock. I'm gonna have to do a bit of recording. Brilliant. Okay, so I've got a bit of grid paper, basically because once I start messing around with the re-inkers, it's going to go everywhere and make a mess. So I am using Butterfly Brilliance. And because I'm using water, I've got this, which is shimmery white card. And I don't know whether the camera's actually going to pick that up at all. But whenever I'm using water, this is the cardstock that I use. It's a bit creamy in colour, so it's not vanilla and it's not white. So the reality is you can use it with either colour, to be honest. So this Butterfly Brilliance is a red rubber stamp, and I recommend that is the type of stamp that you use because I'm using Stays On. So let me just show you. Stays On ink. So Stays On ink is a solvent-based ink. It smells of marzipan, which is one of my favourite smells in the whole world. And I love the smell of it, but it actually says on the back, do not inhale. Okay, so I'm telling you that it says you're not supposed to smell it, but it smells really good. Right, so it's a big stamp, so I'm covering it all over with Stays On. And the reason I'm using Stays On is because I'm going to be putting water on this, and all the other inks will run. because all our other inks are water-based. Right, I'm actually standing up and pressing this down. This is a big old stamp, so you do need to press down quite well. Okay, so I'm actually going to do, we're to do 3 of these, just so we can not have to stop in between times. So I'm calling this technique tie-dye re-inkers because I couldn't really, it's a really difficult thing to decide what it's actually called, because it's kind of a bit of a mashup of a couple of techniques. So it's what it reminded me of when I'd finished it. Right, last one. Now with this, you definitely need an open stamp. Okay, so you need something that's got open areas in it. So what you don't want is something that's solid. So so for instance, you don't want something like this, which is the gorgeous leaves, because the image itself is quite filled in. You won't be able to see it very well, whereas this is very open. So let's just start with this one. So I have got a bowl of water to clean my paintbrush. I've got spritzers, and I've got multiples basically so I don't run out of water. I've got a little acrylic block, or you could use a plate, which is where I'm going to put my re-inkers. I've got my re-inkers. What colours do you think they are? This is my second set of colours that I'll show you on the second one. But guess what colours these are? And I've got some kitchen roll. Margaret, you win. She was there first. Blue, she said. Blue. Yes. Of course there's blue. Yeah, blue, 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 blue. Misty moonlight. Check. Pool party. So I've got 2 blues and 2 greens. Soft sea foam and mint macaron. But actually, I'm going to put Highland Heather in there as well. There's quite a few different ones. So I'm just going to use the water spritzer and spritz like 3 times on the back. And it just helps it from curling too much. And then I'm putting water over the whole thing. So I'm just going to put a couple of drops on the acrylic block of these re-inkers. Now, there are techniques where you just drop the re-inkers directly onto your cardstock. What tends to happen with that is you get too much of a concentration of colour. Whereas if you use a damp paintbrush, then you can just put in the colour and it will spread out. You need each time to clean your paintbrush. And so that's not spreading currently. So there's obviously not enough water on there. So just give it a bit more, Welly. Give it a bit more water. That's the much paler one. And all I'm going to do with this is I'm just tapping it randomly all over. And you just need to be not scared. Do it scared. And I hope lots of you have got re-inkers. And if you haven't, you need to get some. Firstly, because these techniques are just too cool. But secondly, because you'll end up one day making the most awesome project and you can't finish it because you need some ink. Right, so what I'm actually going to do now is just dab some of the ink off here and the water. I'm going to bring it up and show you. You've got all the soft colours. If you think, oh no, we need a bit more colour on that, then, you know, just go back in, add a bit more. Just make sure to clean your brush each time. A bit more depth of colour. It's nice to leave little white areas as well, or paler areas, which is why I picked the soft sea foam, because it is a little bit paler. So I'm going to put that there. And actually I'm going to plug in my little radiator so that it can heat it up and maybe dry it off. I do have some dry samples to show you, but so I'm just going to clean that off. Okay, so for the next one, I'm going to go pinks and purples. So this is polished pink, fresh freesia, and Highland heather. And again, do a bit of spritzing on the back. Just stops it curling quite so much. And lots and lots and lots of water there on the top. And lots of pink. And then the fresh freesia. And this Highland heather is it's a beautiful purple. It's really interesting though. I think of Highland heather being quite pale, but actually when you've got the re-inker and the concentration of the colour, you'll actually find that it's actually quite deep. Don't be afraid of kind of moving stuff around a bit. Oh, Deborah's saying, could you also use the watercolour paper? Absolutely. You will need more water when you use watercolour paper because it will hold the water more. But yes, absolutely. I don't tend to use watercolor paper because the stamping at watercolor paper's got a bit of a texture to it. But it definitely will work and look very pretty. So I'm just putting a bit more purple in there. There we go. All right. So there you go. So there's another one. Ooh. I just knocked it on the first one on the floor. Huh? Bear with me. Okay, so I'm going to just do one more, but this time I'm going to add in the blue as well, because why wouldn't I put blue on the pink card? Now this will work with any kind of stamp. So if you are thinking about, maybe Christmas cards, that sort of thing, you could stamp snowflakes over the top. So look, all of my butterflies are blue now. But I shall go sort of around the edges. Adding in the purple. And then that one. And a little touch of pink. And this is a really fun technique you can do with little ones as well. All our inks are water-based, so, they're not, it's fine for kids to use. Just be aware that they will get really inky. I mean, I get fairly inky, but kids will absolutely get inky. So it's worth just making sure that, either they've got gloves to wear or hand washing. The trick as well for stamping up ink off your hands is using a bar of soap. So not a liquid hand wash, but a bar of soap. We've talked about this often. I love L'Occitane soaps, but there are so many beautiful soaps out there. I was using one I was given for my birthday the other day, and it's got goat milk in it, and it's just really soft and lovely. So, all sorts of different things. So let's have a look. Lorraine's saying, can you do a similar technique with watercolor pens onto a stamping block? Yes, absolutely. But because this ink is because the re-inkers are so concentrated, you will have to do quite a lot of scribbling to get enough ink. You might be better off, instead of using the watercolor pen, let me see, have I got an ink pad here? Yeah, hang on. You'd probably be better off with an ink pad. So let me just dab this off a bit. Just show you that one. I'm just going to put that on my little radiator. Oh, they're drying really quickly. That's so cool. I'll show you. Let me just clean that off. I'll show you, Lorraine. Give that a spritz. So if you just dab a block, an ink pad on a block, that will give you enough ink to play with. I think that potentially with your watercolor pens, there just might not be enough ink. So, with all of these kinds of techniques, always avoid red and green. Red and green will always make a horrible muddy brown, and it won't be nice. So let's just add a bit more. And the paler green as well. And some misty moonlight. Oh, Zaina, I'm sorry to hear that you've been poorly with asthma as well. I'm making a mess now. It's because I've got no butterflies to fill in. But yes, so you get the idea. So you can use ink pads as well. So let me clean that off. And I'll bring in the ones I made earlier. And I do need, though, to stamp a happy birthday. Let's stamp that again. I re-inked my stays on before I came upstairs. So it's actually quite juicy. I'm just trying to get an even stamp. So third time lucky. Let's just trim that off. Hello. Germany's in the house. How are you? Have you got snow? I also meant to ask, has anybody made any Christmas trees from last week yet? There we go. Has anybody made any Christmas trees from last week? So here, it's okay. So here are some I made earlier. Just bring it up so you can see. It's just such a cool patterned paper. And there's one of the pink and purple ones. So I'm going to use this one. I brought some. Yeah, we'll work with those colours, I think. So I'm going to keep the main butterfly and slice some of that off. So with this, I've actually made it so the piece of paper that I was stamping on is much bigger than I actually needed. And that was done on purpose so that I had enough space I could actually kind of trim it down. There we go. Let's move that. Now, because this is a little bit bendy, I'm going to use tape. Sometimes I use tape, as you know. I mainly use my green Tombow multi-purpose glue, but sometimes when I've got a bit of paper or cardstock that's a bit bendy, I use tape. So let's just pull that through. So that is going to sit on there. So this is soft sea foam, which is one of the colours that I used. I'm going to pop that on there. I'm just going to trim it up a bit more. I'm just curving it up a little bit, and then I'll put Tombow just on one edge. Just kind of pin it down. Now, I'm looking at that and thinking that that is actually quite stark. So I think that actually needs a bit of colour on it. So what I'm going to do is just to get a tiny bit, that's the soft sea foam. Find my paintbrush. Oh. And give it a little spritz. And just do a little, I'm just going to put a little bit over there, and a little bit of Highland Heather. So I should have thought about that before before I stuck it down, but I didn't. And then I'm just going to blot that off, and it's going to need a tiny bit of blue now. So maybe when you're making yours, do an extra sheet, an extra piece that has a that you can use for your sentiments. There we go. Look, that is so much better. Because it stands out, because it's lifted, but it also blends in a little bit. And then we'll just stick that down on the front there. Here we go. So let me move these things out of the way a little bit. Oh. Pop that down as well. And just show you all the re-inker colours. Da-da-da. They'll all roll though, so they'll never stay. They'll never stay. So there you go. So, tie-dye re-inker or re-inker tie-dye. Let me bring this up so you can kind of see it in all its glory. I'll just move those up a little bit. Move that out of the way. I'm just going to have a quick slurp of my peppermint tea. And then I'll get the other ones to show you that have dried. Let me just move those out of the way. So this is the first one that I did. And you can see, so I've used exactly the same colours. This one's got a little bit more of the Misty Moonlight, a bit more dark blue. This one a bit less. And then the purely pinks and purples. And then this one, which I've used a lot more blue, and the pinks and the purples again as well. So you can see how many different types of colour combinations you can have. Very, very straightforward to do. All I did was I had a bowl of water and a paintbrush, water spritzer, and your re-inkers. And you can make beautiful re-inker tie-dyes. So I hope that you have enjoyed today's video. Please do know that you can subscribe to me on YouTube. You can also follow me on Facebook. I have a blog, which is www.inspiringinking, and you can shop there in my online store as well. I will be seeing lots of you at 7 o'clock tonight for my monthly craft along class. You'll find that class in Facebook, and if you search for Inspiring Inking Crafting Corner, it's a Facebook group. You need to apply to join the Facebook group, answer a couple of questions, and I will let you in. If you want to actually see the class at 7, you need to make sure that you've done that before 6 o'clock so that I can actually let you in, because after that I'll be prepping for the class. I will see you all next week. Remember about the retiring list tomorrow. Today is the last day to book your place for the December craft along. And I think that's everything. I hope you have a great week, and I will see you next week. Take care. Goodbye.